Hello, sports fans. I'm back again. This is Fabrication by RoG. The same guy that has done the engine work, and you've seen this hydraulic splitter, which I am now attempting to put wings on. A wing would be this steel plate. Of course, I'm in the process of drilling 15/16 inch hole through a total of 1 inch plate here, and this piece of 3/8 plate that you can see the pipe clamps on here and here and here, there's 4 of them on, I will take off and put on the fabrication table over there, which is where I do all the welding. And I'm going to put C-channel, 1.25 inch pieces of C-channel spaced out about 6 inches apart, 4 of them, that will come out about 3 feet at maybe a 2-degree angle, slightly up, so that when you split the log, you want the log to stay on the wing. Now there'll be one on this side and one on this side, and they'll be fastened with these 1-inch grade 5 bolts that I'm going to thread into the 5/8 plate. These are very big bolts, but you have to understand, when you split a 500-pound log, you got 250 pounds that are going to fall down on both sides of the wing. So my other plan is triangulate it from the bottom leg here up here. And as everybody knows, a triangle is almost a perfect geometric shape, because you have to change the length of one of the legs in order to change its shape, and that's almost impossible on a rigid triangle. In any case, that's the plan. So we're in the process now of drilling holes, and I don't like to change drill bits, so I have 4 drills. So I chuck different size drill bits in drills. I start with 1/4. I go from 1/4 to 1/2. I dip the drill bit into gear oil, which is 75 W90, very thick. It's a 1-inch diameter bolt. Now this hole here will get drilled out to 1 inch, but only when you got all 3 of them drilled, because the piece of plate that's 5/8 thick that's welded to the beam is going to get tapped to this thread, and then you'll screw it in when you get the wings welded on, and tighten this nut on the other side, which you'll have to reach in here and tighten up. But it should be good and strong, and that's the deal. Friends, we're back in action. We went through this last time. This is the bolt we're using right here, and it goes through there. It's threaded into this piece of 5/8 plate that's welded on the end of the beam that anchors the wing. I call it a wing. It's a catch mechanism. When you split a log that's 24 to 36 inches in diameter, and let me get a tape here, I'll give you some kind of idea how big it is. In diameter is where my thumb is to the end of the tape. So if you put that over here in the middle of the splitter at about 15 inches, you could see that of course it's going to be this tall. So you could imagine that splitting in half. You want to prevent this from hitting the ground, because if it hits the ground, then you have to, I normally pick them up with a cherry picker, which is this mechanism over here. And I have a grapple that fits around the log and pinches in the log. We'll show a demonstration of that later. In any case, we're going to triangulate this, which is the piece I was talking about before. It goes from here. This piece is going to be welded onto here. Then there'll be another piece that goes from here to the bottom of the foot here. I'm going to have to weld something on here, and then figure out something where I can take the leg and just drop it in place, and that will triangulate the whole thing here. We're doing the same thing on this side, and of course when you transport the thing, you're going to want to take these wings off. You which of course you take these bolts off, and then the wing comes right off along with the leg on the bottom. And that's pretty much it. So we're in the process now of drilling the final hole, which is this big drill here, which takes a 15/16 drill bit. As you can see, it's pretty big. That is going to be drilled over here, and then the final 1 inch gets drilled on the drill press on the piece of 3/8 plate, and that's pretty much it. There's not too much else I can explain. Problem that you have when you let your wife shoot the video. Sports fans. Anyway, I'll clear it up for everybody. How that slides in there. Now that the object is to machine 4 of these, 2 for each bar. The bar will go down here. I have to weld one of the brackets on the foot down there, and I might extend the foot. This piece of C-channel will move down here. It'll be like this, things, but the idea is that this will be welded to this piece of C-channel so that I can take the triangular post here and drop it in place, held by its weight. So when the log splits, when you're splitting a 32 inch log, they're about 500 pounds. You could see that a 32 inch log is going to be up here. It's going to be big. They're very heavy. So a 250 pounds, it's possible to be 250 or 300 pounds, which would be half the log is going to come down on each side. That's why you need triangulation. And as everybody knows, a triangle is one of the stiffest architectural forms there is, because you'd have all the legs are rigid. So this is the idea. Anyway, this will be welded on the back side of this C-channel, and there'll be another bracket there. You'll be able to take the bar here, the square bar, slide it in and just drop it in place. Okay, this is a, you could see, well, you can't really see it. This is a Smithy BX 288 milling machine. When I purchased this, they were about $1,500, $1,600. You can still buy them through, I'm sure Smithy has a website. I would imagine it's smithy.com. In any case, a milling machine, the idea, of course, is the cutter turns at different speeds. There's a gearbox in here. You put your piece in so that it's flat and parallel in a milling machine vise, of which I have here, and you pull this tight as you can. Then you crank the machine, as you can see. I should have put this back on here. And you lower the cutting head here till, now a lot of this stuff is done by eye. So make sure if you have a little trouble seeing, you got your reading glasses on, because some of this work can be kind of fine. I forgot to inform you, these pieces of square tubing, you could probably see in here, there is a rolling welder that forms these in a steel mill, and they're resistance welded right here. You can see the seam. Now when you machine this out, you want to machine the welded seam out. You don't want to machine a virgin piece, because you want all the strength that you can get. So you're going to machine this out. So you put it in the mill here with the welded seam down, and you're going to machine back and forth here to cut the top piece out. You're cutting that down, and then you sight in here, and you move the table. See, the table traverses left and right. You move the table, crank this down so you can see that it's approximately close to this vertical wall here. See? Then you crank it up, start the machine, clamp the horizontal table down so it doesn't move. You start the machine, and you take a small bite out, which is approximately there. Then you crank the traverse. Now this is a 3-axis machine, so So you got up and down, left and right, and in and out. Now we're going to be cranking in here. Now you can hear the bit start to cut. And we crank enough to feed. Now you get the idea what's happening. Here we are, sports fans. This is the finished product. As you could see, we tack welded everything, put it on the welding table. The triangular pieces, as I explained before, the triangle is a very geometrically, geometry or whatever you want to call it, very stable. So you can see the three legs here, the triangle piece at the bottom, and then the top. Now the bar designed to come out by just lifting a little bit, pulling up, and then sliding it out. So which you're probably going to do, because when you put these big pieces in, you got to use a cherry picker to pick them up, because they're 500 or 600 pounds, and you got to get them on the beam. So you'll take one of these bars out, which is easy to do, and I designed it this way so that you basically just slip the bar in, lay it in the top here, lift it, and it drops in place, and you got a good stable platform. Because when these you split these big pieces, you're looking at 250 pounds, you know, coming in half like this, boom, on the wedge. So this is the finished product. I painted it. I had some blue paint. I threw it on. It's not very good, but I'll touch it up. And of course, wood's going to hit it. And in a later video, we will show you what it looks like when you split a giant piece of wood, and we'll see what happens. That's all for now, sports fans.